Hello, this is Melody Clark with Wills, and today I'm going to run through a process of updating and changing location codes in Sierra. So before we begin, I want to briefly explain why we are changing location codes of a few existing items. So these are not new items that are being added into the collection. They are existing items that we're changing the location code of. So this particular issue arises because of the lack of ability to pull statistics on these select items. So WITC has several laptops that have a general location code of equipment. Now, if we run statistics either in Web Management Reports or Decision Center by item type or location code, it will include statistics on not only those laptops, but any other equipment that share that general location code. So just to show you an example, I have ran a report here in Create Lists of all of the WITC items that have the general equipment location code, and there's 2,681. Now, that includes laptops, cameras, whatever other equipment that they have. So if we were to run a report for circulation, excuse me, for circulation statistics on a period of time, we would get all of this equipment, which isn't very helpful. We need to be able to pull stats on just these laptops. So I have ran a report up here, and I'll look at the show info. And what this is looking at is the only identifying information that in the records that shows that these are laptops is within the title. So all of the equipment that are laptops at WITC have computer-laptop in the title. So I've run a report with that, as well as that the item type, excuse me, item agency equals to 10, which is WITC. And that has given me 284. So there are only 284 out of the 2,681 equipment, item types that are actually laptops. So looking at all of these, they actually have their equipment item types broken out by campus location. So there's 4 separate locations. So looking at these, and I can show you them here. You can actually look at show info, and you can see they actually have these 4 different location codes. So they're all, the EQ stands for equipment, so just general equipment, but then there's Ashland and New Richmond and Superior and so forth. So we have to, in order to change these and update these, and I'll show you what we're changing them to. So here are the 4 location codes, and we're going to update them to equipment laptops. So we're going to change anything that has this current location code plus a title of computer laptop is going to get changed to this. And I'll show you that I've actually already added the location code. So here in parameters, general, and branches, shows all of the location codes. And we'll scroll down to look at WITCs. And we have the general equipment, so Ashland equipment. I've already added 4 new ones, so we can see here that we have Ashland equipment - computer lab. Now, it's important when you're adding location codes that are still, you still want them to fall under kind of a general category, to use a hierarchical format. So we still have EQ, and I've added a C at the end for the computer, so we have EQC. This is important because if ever I want to do something with all of the equipment, maybe add something to a record, I can just still use this to pull all of the equipment, and that would include the computer laptops. So I've added 4 new ones of those. We'll close that out. Now, in order to pull out each of the individual location codes to transfer them over, as I've shown here, I need to pull out the 4 individual locations. So I've already done 3, and now I'm going to pull superiors out. So I'm going to search records, and I'll put in a review file name, laptop, and we're doing superior now. Store record type is going to be item. Excuse me. So the difference here is we're not going to actually be doing a search on the entire system. We've already created this review file of these very specific laptops. So we want to run the list on that. So we're going to select review, and then over here we're going to select this number 28 review file of these 284 items because we've already identified those computer laptops. And now we just want to pull out the superior location code, so this ISEQ. So we're looking at items and location code. We want it to equal that ISEQ. So we want all of those particular items. So now we're going to search. So we're just pulling out these from this list. Now, the other thing is we have these, the Ashland, the Richmond, Rice Lake, Superior. All of these lists were pulled from this top one here, this number 28 with 284 items. Because we're making this change, we're going to be using Rapid Update to change these. If you're unsure and you just want to kind of verify that these are maybe the right amount of numbers, you can also run this through statistics and match up the numbers. So we're going to go into statistics. I'll show you that really quick, how to do that. We are going to do a new query. And I'm just going to call this one WITC laptop. I'm actually not going to save it. If you click on this little toggle button here, it just moves or copies, excuse me, the title of the name from here to here. I'm not going to do a search on the entire system. I'm going to do it on that specific review file. So again, I'm going to select review. And I'm going to come over here and I want to do that number 28 that has the 284 items. I want field statistics. I'm going to select fastest accumulation because that sounds good. And I'm going to click run the query. It's going to say, oh, you haven't saved this. That's okay. I don't want to save it. I'm not going to be doing this again. And then it's going to ask me if I want it to accumulate in the background. And I'm just going to say yes. Because if you're running a very large list, it will take you here and it'll just say running, and otherwise it will not take you to the screen until it's completed. This one is a very short list, does not take long to run through statistics, so it's already completed. So you just want to click on the result file, and then up here you can view report. View query just shows the criteria that you put in. So I'm going to view this report of those laptops. And over here on this side, I want to look at location codes because that is what I'm looking at changing. So we have these items, 284 items with those 4 location codes. So good, this list only lists the 4 location codes. And I've got these numbers here. Oh, it looks like since I ran this yesterday, one of those records has been deleted. That's okay. So I'm going to then export this. So you can click on export. And I'm just going to open it in Excel. And I actually already have done this. So I'm going to close that out. And I want to go back to create list. And I've got my exported numbers here. So we can kind of compare just to make sure, just to verify that we have the right numbers, we have the right lists before we move forward. So looking at this, I've exported so I can compare numbers. So the Ashland, I have 122 and 122 over here, 93, 45, and 24. So I can just be a little bit more comfortable knowing that I've got the right location codes, I've got the right numbers. You can always go and click and actually look at any of these records and go into each individual one and look at the item types to verify. But if you have very large lists that takes a long time. You can also run each one of these through statistics as well to verify. So I think what we're going to do right now is I'll start off with the Superior. And remember, we want to take this list of 24 items and change it from this location code to this location code. So I've got review file 32, and I'm going to note that. And then I come over to the function, and I will select Rapid Update. All right, so the default is bibliographic, but remember, I want to modify item records, so I'm going to select the drop-down box and select item here. And I want to do a review file. Now, for safety purposes, so you don't accidentally automatically update the wrong review file, this by default is empty. So you have to go in and select, and I wanted the number 32 of those Superior items. And now I'm going to jump down here to field. And the field that I want to update, as you remember, is the location. So I'm going to put location here. And then I want to put in my new value. And my new value, as you remember, is this ISEQC. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. So I'm going from this general equipment to the more specific one. So that immediately jumps in there as soon as I tab out of that. If I wanted to change another, like item type or call number or something like that, I could also add that as well. You can change multiple fields at once. So now I'm going to click Start. Before I do that, I'm going to verify I've got item, I have the correct review file, and I'm looking at Superior, and I have the right new location code. So I'm going to hit Start, and it's going to go through all of them immediately, and it will show them down below in the history section, and it'll show process. If for some reason there was an error with one of them under status, it would say error in red. And typically the only time there's an error is if someone's actually editing that item at the time and the system wasn't able to update and save. So now what I want to do is I'm going to close out of Rapid Update, and I'm going to go back into Create List. And I just want to look at this list super quick just to make sure that, yes, those are now all updated, and I'm done with it. So I look at it, and now we have this updated location code of WITC Superior Equipment Computer Laptop. And now just to finish the project, I'll run these 3 through Rapid Update, and I will be done. So that's it. That's how to change a group of location codes we're in a general area to something more specific, so that we now in the future can get good statistics on specific item types, or excuse me, location codes. So thanks.